Welcome to All Things HTLT. We are here because our faith is a priority and leading teens closer to Christ is our mission. We are sinners, striving to be perfect and giving all glory to God on the way. You are welcome to join us on this adventure. Turn up your volume and make sure you're in the perfect place to enjoy this next episode of All Things HTLT.
Hello everyone, welcome back to All Things HTLT. My name is Christian Miramontes, and today we're going to be switching things up a little bit, and me and Miss Jenna Osborne will be asking Jace Bravo asking him some questions. Not deepest, darkest questions.
The nitty-gritty of Jace Bravo.
Getting down to business. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Jace, what's cracking? How you been?
You know, can't complain.
Oh,
what is this? This
okay.
is Monday, so it's a good day.
Oh, that's nice.
Motivation Monday.
You like
know?
Mondays.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's a
you
bit
got to start
different.
the week on the right foot.
Wait, you
No,
like
you're right.
Mondays?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I've never heard
It's actually
anyone
my
say that.
Tuesday because I start Sunday.
Oh.
If you're talking
Oh.
work week,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
your work week's
I'm
pushed up
Sunday,
a day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this is my
Oh.
Tuesday. So Sunday's kind of my Monday.
Oh, okay. Never thought of that.
Yeah, so you guys are going to grill me with amazing and awesome questions.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
We're gonna ask you your
see.
deepest, darkest sin.
Let's do it.
Joking.
You're going to
Joking.
regret
Ready?
this.
You're gonna regret.
Oh, good Lord. Go
All right,
ahead.
Jace. You're on a deserted island, and you can only bring 3 things with you. What would they be?
Deserted island. I can bring 3 things.
Like Castaway. Like it's just you.
I can't bring people.
I mean, if you want to waste a person on a thing, then, like
Famous
I mean,
actors only. you
I
know.
mean, like as like
Let me
you
think.
know.
What would I bring? So the first would probably be like my lucky machete. And then what would be a second? Second would probably be
Like food.
no, because is there food on the island? Like, can I hunt for food and fish? and
There's at
different
least
things?
coconuts.
Well, yeah, we'll say like basic like island, like coconuts.
Okay. Is there fish in the water?
I would assume.
Is it like maybe?
I would
Yeah, it's
assume
Like,
so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll bring like a lot of like 1,000 yards of like thick fishing line.
Oh.
So you have rope, you have fishing.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then what would be my third? Probably like a flint, like to start a fire.
Really?
Yeah, easy. Water,
Smart.
food. I got a knife.
Wouldn't
can
you
make
get
fishing
lonely
line.
though? You wouldn't want to bring like
No, you got a coconut. You can make
A friend.
a friend.
you'll be like Wilson, but like the coconut form.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a name. I was
Marcus.
gonna call it Tom, but I didn't know. But that's my dad's name.
Lame,
Mark.
lame. All right, Jace. We just want to. I think the viewers want to know what made you want to become a youth minister.
What made me want to become a youth minister? I just love hanging around high school teens. No, I'm just kidding. I think what made me is when I was in high school, I had a really cool youth minister, and so shout out to Sandy. But
Hey, shout out.
so I was going like we were, I don't know, like I was not into my faith and all that kind of good stuff, and it wasn't until I was kind of in confirmation, and I only got into confirmation because there were like cute girls there, so I was like, you
A
know,
very
I guess,
valid reason.
I guess I'll stay.
Oh,
you
good
know,
point.
so-
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah,
you know,
you
when
know.
you're young.
on the prowl. So I stayed and kind of did all of that, did confirmation, and kind of got into that. And I kind of had my transformation, my testimony kind of within all of that. And when I went into college, I went to the University of St. Thomas, St. Paul, Minnesota, went for communications and Catholic studies. And when I was there, I really kind of like dove into the faith, and I really wanted to give back to like the faith and everything. And so when I was there, I studied, kind of loved it. And I was thinking of kind of what I wanted to do after. And I wanted to teach the faith. I wanted to kind of like be a part of the teens' lives, like in their transformation process too, of like when they're gonna kind of transform and make a choice of kind of what is it they want to follow. And in college, I remember it was like my senior year. No, it was early on is when I really wanted to be. But have you guys read the book The
What?
Great Divorce?
I
I
Wait,
have it.
I
You
have.
haven't-
I
you
think I
haven't
read
read
it.
No.
but I have it.
I think I read it in middle school.
It's C.S. Lewis.
Yeah.
And
Wait.
it's a
Yeah.
Oh, I started
It's like
reading it.
middle
Nice,
school.
I
Middle
read it.
school.
Or
would
no,
be-
wait, high school.
Middle school, you'd be pretty smart. To
I think it
read.
was high school.
It's a really like so it
One
like
of those.
so C.S. Lewis he's the one that wrote, he's a Christian that wrote Chronicles of Narnia and stuff like that. And so he wrote this book, The Great Divorce. And what's interesting about The Great Divorce is it's like giving, so let's say the apocalypse happens and like it's done, everybody's in heaven or hell, there's no in between anymore. So he's kind of answering the question of, if you were given a second choice, like if the people in hell were giving a second choice, would they choose heaven or would they choose hell? And so he's answering that question. So he takes these people and they go on this, Corinne brought this up in one of the earlier podcasts, but they go on this bus ride kind of thing. And they go from hell, and on hell you're lonely. You're on like your own individual planet. There's no color. It's dull. There's nothing to do. It's like boredom to the max kind of thing for all eternity. And so you get on this bus, and then you go in, and you're not quite in heaven, but you're in like this. It's not purgatory or
Limbo?
anything. No, they're kind of in limbo. It's kind of a weird thing. And so it's like they go into this like heaven-esque kind of place, and the person that during their lifetime who would best convince them to come to heaven was sent from heaven to go and kind of convince them. And so it's like they go through all these different characters, and it's a really good book to kind of like to read. And so we read it in college, and one of the interesting, and this is the first time I kind of remember of when I wanted to be a youth minister, is my professor, Father Michael Keating, he asked us, he said, okay, for your final, write another chapter. And so every chapter was a different story of like, so Christian, if you were, what chapter, like
Really?
kind of, doing your own thing. And so what's interesting about it is you kind of put yourself in the chapter. And so you're kind of like
man.
writing in and all this. And so,
What'd
for
you write?
me-
What'd you write?
I don't know. That's another discussion. But mine was a youth minister.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so mine was a youth minister, and it's kind of sad to say, but they chose hell. Like, so it wasn't me, hopefully a reflection of me, but it was that choice. It's like, since they were in hell, they chose hell. And so it was just like an interesting kind of like concept of like this person that was coming to talk with this youth minister, and then the youth minister was kind of like, I don't know. So at that point, I kind of wanted to be like leading teens. Like I really wanted to be a part of like the journey for teens and kind of give them something, because we're all searching for this good, like everybody's searching. We're searching for peace, joy, goodness. We're trying to be the quote unquote happy, and I'm a firm believer that we won't find happiness unless we find it in God. Otherwise it's so temporary that it's like, it's not even worth it,
Yeah.
And so for me, I wanted to kind of like dive into sharing with teens the opportunity, since the world is throwing everything else at them. I wanted to make like the faith attractive.
Yeah.
So that's
Do you
kind
think
of
you've accomplished that? Like making the faith attractive?
not until the day I die. So we'll see.
Oh.
No, I think I don't know. I think it's, I've given it my best shot. I'm just kidding. No, I think it's I don't know. I think it's like it's an everyday occurrence. You know, it's like a teen one day will say yes, and say yes to God, but it's like the next day could prove to be a harder day, And I think too, every time we do say yes, and we get a bit more grace and everything, but we also get more challenges that come our way. So, and we're challenged in so many different ways. So, yeah.
Is there somebody specifically that's like helped you throughout your journey?
Throughout my journey,
Like a spiritual, is it spiritual mentor?
Leader?
Leader? Something like that.
I guess in every part of my life, there's been like different people.
Oh.
So like my testimony early on, I don't want to share my testimony because I don't want to kind of like share it on the airwaves yet. But like that person kind of helped early on, and then my youth minister was like a key kind
Mm-hmm.
of aspect of kind of like, because I was always in the life team room. Like,
Really?
yeah, I was always after school and different things and like just chilling. Like I'd bring friends and everything. We'd just like, she'd be working or whatever. And I would just like, there was like a different youth room
Uh-huh.
that was like away from her office. So like we'd just all be in the youth room just like
She just
chilling,
couldn't get
playing
rid of you.
games. I know.
Feel
I'm
bad
like,
for her.
well, I'm just kind of like, if you're going to be doing like, I don't know, I wanted to be somewhere. So
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is like kind of after my testimony and everything.
Yeah.
But after that, like it was my professors
Mm.
that really challenged me.
You still talk to your professors, right?
Some, not very many. But there's one, Dr. Boyle, who's like awesome. Him and his wife, because
Mhm.
they both went with us to Rome when I studied out in
Oh,
Rome.
really?
Yeah, and so they lived with us. Like it was like we lived in like a mini hotel almost, and it was only us that lived there. Yeah,
Oh,
it was pretty
wow.
cool. So it was Bernardi residence, and so we lived there, and they lived like on one of the floors with their family, and then like we had like seminarians that lived with us and everything. And
Whoa.
it was crazy, but it was fun. And so like Dr. Boyle, I got to know really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was cool.
Wait, so what was like your favorite thing about like, because I know you studied abroad in Rome. You didn't, well, you studied in Rome.
I
Right?
studied in Rome. Yeah.
What was your favorite like thing about studying? Like what was like best
Studying in
memory?
Rome?
Yeah, like best memory studying in Rome. Like you'll never forget this experience. Like it was like,
What's the
wow.
Best memory. I think like there's so many good memories like in many different like respects, but like studying wise, it's just kind of like the things you learn. So my favorite was art history.
Mm-hmm.
So we had Dr. Elizabeth Lev, and if you're listening to this, you guys could too. Is like Dr. Liz Lev is like the best art historian in all of Rome.
Really?
Like she is phenomenal. She's
So
from
is that
Chicago.
like the architecture, or just like the paintings?
No,
and stuff?
everything.
Oh,
so
okay.
from architecture to sculptures to painting
Mhm.
to just everything.
Oh,
And so
wow.
like she is the best. Like I was just seeing on I forget what it was, but on one of the social medias, she was just showing like Secretary Mike Pompeo,
Mhm.
like because it just opened yesterday. So she was showing him and his family Bernini sculptures and all
Oh,
these different
wow.
things. So she's like really famous, and so she was our art historian. And so what's interesting about it is like she would, instead of like you're in a classroom and you're being taught, she'd be like, all right, we're going to this church that has the Caravaggio painting.
That's cool.
And so we would go physically to the Caravaggio painting, like 30 of
Yeah.
us, and she'd be like, look at the different shapes, look at where it's at, like all of the different things, look at the lighting, like we have lighting now.
Mm-hmm.
And she would know all the people too, and she spoke Italian and
Really?
stuff. She would turn off the lights, they would turn on candles and different things so you can see it with like different lighting. Like it was just phenomenal. Like just to kind of
Wow.
see everything in the way that it's supposed to be, you know, and then the different sculptures and how it was and where it would be and all these different things. So that was my favorite,
Oh
like
my
studying
gosh.
part.
I'm
about it,
jealous.
so.
I want to do like
Yeah. If people
something like
go
that.
and you have the opportunity, because she gives tours all the time.
Yeah.
Go try to get her, secure her. You have to book way in advance.
Oh well, yeah, I
but
bet.
she's like phenomenal.
Best of the
Phenomenal,
best.
yeah. And she knows like all the Swiss guards. and
Oh, so
knows,
she has the
like-
connections,
Yeah, so
too.
she always gets close to Pope Francis and different things.
Oh, okay.
So she's like, yeah, she's on the in. So
Oh.
yeah. She
What was your
good.
favorite place to go to, like in Rome?
Yeah, like visiting, like
Rome?
tourist site or something like that.
I love the Vatican, like St. Peter's. Other than St. Peter's, I think my favorite church would have been San Giovanni Rotondo. Or no, I'm sorry, San Giovanni Laterno, which is it's like the papal church. So where the
Okay.
Pope, it's like the Pope's church.
Uh-huh.
And right across from there is the Holy Stairs where Jesus walked up
wow.
for Pontius Pilate. And so like St. Helena, I think this is the story, so don't quote me, but St. Helen brought like all these different artifacts and different things from the Holy Land because she wanted to preserve it in Rome. And so one of the things is the stairs, like the stairs that Jesus walked up to go to Pontius Pilate. And so they literally like dragged these huge stairs across from the Holy Land to Rome.
Wait, no
you know?
way.
Yeah, and so they brought them and they put them there, and you can't walk up them. You have to kneel up them.
Wow.
And it's like this wood is like.
Oh, it's made out of wood?
Well,
It's not like stone?
no, I think it's marble underneath, and then the wood covers it.
Oh, okay.
So like you can reach under the wood and
like, touch
there's
the marble?
Yeah. But you're kneeling, this wood is like has knots in
Ooh.
it, and so your knees are like all the way. But I would always go with seminarians, and so the people like sometimes there's sisters or priests that are in the front that are kind of like monitoring to make sure everybody's kneeling, everybody is not going in all at a time, like it's like two, and everybody's kind of behind. I would always go with seminarians, and they would stop like the line because they would let the seminarians go, so I would go with them.
Oh, okay.
And so they would let us go by ourselves,
Yeah.
kind of all the way up, and then there's like the Eucharist at the top.
Oh, wow.
So it's like pretty cool, yeah. So
Oh,
that was my favorite place.
That is
Other than that, like the
nice.
fun place, I loved like the piazzas. Like, have you guys been to Rome?
No,
my
sadly.
gosh,
I
you guys
want.
should go.
I'm like, that's like on my top bucket list place.
The piazzas are like at like come 3:00 when everybody's having their siesta. You know, it's like everybody like they're all dressed full suit,
Yeah.
briefcase. They're just like laid back, like just hanging out. Like I don't know, that was so cool to kind of be in the piazzas, and kids are playing in the middle of the day, and then like 11 p.m. at night, it's like super late. Kids are playing, everybody's kind of doing. Then you got like the gypsies that are all
That's
around
crazy
selling
to me.
things. Yeah, so it was crazy. It's a fun experience though.
It's so weird how like different like the cultures are. How like 11 p.m. most people are in bed over here.
Yeah.
And it's like they're out there like just doing their own
Well, they
things.
took their nap
so-
in the middle of the day.
Well, I know, but it's like that's just so I don't know. It's just crazy to me. I don't know how
Yeah.
anybody else feels.
It was cool. It was a good experience. The food, the coffee, all that
Oh.
stuff. Yeah,
You're making me hungry now.
I know.
But you know, I think everybody has had an embarrassing moment in their lives.
Mm.
And I think most people have multiple than others. But what has been your like most embarrassing, like could be from you were a kid, adult, dad, family?
Recently.
Amazing moment.
Recently, yesterday.
I don't know.
Like you have to have one.
I have like little ones that are all throughout. Like there's nothing that like stands out that I'm like, well, let me think.
There's like no big one where it's like,
Oh, I was so embarrassed. No.
wretched. Like nobody can know.
It wasn't like I was leading the wrong cheer for like Wasn't that yours?
No.
Oh, what
I was thinking of your one for you is that your most embarrassing is every time when you're singing a worship song and you get the lyrics wrong.
Oh.
And everyone just looks at
I don't think
you.
that's embarrassing. Everybody just looks like even yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday with Jonathan. Like
What do you do?
So you know how sometimes she sings Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
So she was like Lord have mercy, Christ have mercy, Lord have mercy, Lord
Yeah.
have, and then everybody sung Lord have mercy. So she was like Lord have mercy, and then so I was saying Lord have mercy, but she was saying Christ have mercy, and I was like okay, well. And then so Jonathan looked at me and he like shook his head. I was like okay.
But I think it's so funny though, like when you're really into it, like you're belting it, like you're confident in the lyric, and then you just sing it wrong.
No,
That happens. I
think-
feel like that happens more often than you'd like it to.
Oh, it happens to me all the time. Probably every single song, at least like once. But for me, I was trying to think of. I think like an embarrassing moment. It's probably not my most embarrassing, but like an embarrassing. And Stacy probably knows a lot more embarrassing moments than I do because she'll remember those. But an embarrassing moment would probably be the I was letting Ashley Lopez letting her. No, she was babysitting Liam. And it was like this is when it was just Liam, and so I was dropping Liam off. What I didn't know is Liam exploded. Yeah, and so like I pick him up out of his car seat, and I see the car seat is all bad too, and I was like, no. And I was late to work, and I had it was a staff meeting and everything, so I got out, brought him over to the door, and I was like, hey. So he exploded, and it's like everywhere.
You're, like,
it was all
holding
over my
Liam in front of
pants
you, you're
too.
like, hey.
It was bad because he like I don't know. I held him against my
my
pants, and I didn't know it
God.
was on his front. It was everywhere. And Ashley was like, so she like changed them right then. It was crazy.
Did you clean like the
No.
it off your pants? No,
Off my pants, yes, I cleaned it.
I was
I
gonna
went
say,
in the staff. Sorry,
going
everybody.
in the meeting. Sorry, everyone.
You know the
Hello.
kid. Everybody would understand.
Had a little accident this morning.
Oh my gosh. No, I haven't had anything like that. Like, Nothing. I don't know. Like, I get embarrassed, but not like, oh, this is the most embarrassing.
Really?
Thing. Nah.
Do you like laugh like when you embarrass yourself? Like, do you laugh?
Yeah,
at
I
yourself?
just poke fun at it.
I feel like you have to.
Yeah.
Like,
It just
if you-
depends on I'm around too.
Well, that's true, right?
I
'Cause
guess.
if it's around like you guys,
Yeah.
like somebody will say something.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
absolutely.
absolutely. Somebody will say
Absolutely. Yeah. That's the same thing. Like if I say something, like even if I mess up a word, you guys are like, oh,
I
you
know.
I'm like, okay, well, you know.
It's just funny ragging on you.
I know.
I
I
don't know
don't
why.
know of any embarrassing other than that.
Really?
Yeah. Next question.
No, oh, well,
Give me a
fine
good
then.
one.
Okay.
All right.
Give me a good one.
Your biggest inspiration.
My biggest inspiration. Like a
ever.
person or
Yeah.
a thing or
Person.
Like in your faith life.
Person.
In your faith life, biggest inspiration.
Biggest inspiration.
They can be dead or alive.
Jesus.
Okay.
I'm just
Well,
kidding.
not G. That's like the most obvious
Let me
answer.
think. I just have so many people that like have given to my
Mhm.
faith in many different ways, like in many different aspects, like in little ways, like some little ways that seemed meaningless, and then some bigger ways. So nobody like takes the cake of like, oh, this person,
Really?
yeah, like this person was, yeah, because everybody was like stepping stones to kind of
Oh.
like get there. So
So what are a couple of like the people who like have like been the stepping stones?
my parents,
Mm.
like for one,
Yeah.
like for obvious reasons,
Obvious.
they're awesome. So my parents, I would say, like friends in high school that like added to my testimony.
Mm.
That kind of like supported me, that kind of like was there, like leading me in all of that sense.
Mhm.
Let me think of somebody else. I mean, like a little moment was like my grandparents. Like my grandparents, like they didn't like do something so big where
Yeah.
they would take me to mass or anything, but it's like little moments. Like I gave them a rosary, and then after they passed away they still had the rose. It's like little things like that of like, oh wow, like they kept the faith, like in that sense. And there was a moment, I'll never forget this, and it like my grandpa was like a big guy, like big Austrian guy, like
Really?
yeah. And so he was always somebody that like I looked up to and like was like, wow, this guy can get through anything.
Yeah.
When Vietnam War and all that stuff. And I remember like, I mean, probably about a week before he passed away, he kind of didn't know, or something like that. He kind of didn't know he was going to pass away. Like it kind of happened all of a sudden.
Mhm.
But I had one of my priest friends, Father Pat, he came in, and just like in the hospital or whatever, and so he came in and we're just like talking and everything, and then Father Pat was like, can I pray with you, can I anoint you? And he's like, yeah. And like when he prayed, and it's so simplistic, and here I'll share another moment too, it's so simplistic, but like when I'm such an observer, like of seeing like what people do, and that even on retreats and stuff, like I look around and kind of feel the spirit through people, kind of thing. And for him, like he like put his hands together like a little kid, it seemed, and he was like my grandpa,
Yeah.
and it seemed like he put his hands together and he like closed his eyes really tight and like prayed while he was anointing.
Oh,
And I
wow.
was like, wow, like to have such childlike faith, and at that moment. Another time is there was this guy, his name is George, and he's like this big dude, like strong dude. And he is like just an awesome, like all around genuinely good guy.
Okay.
And I remember at adoration. See, these are small moments that they don't even know about.
Really?
It's
They
like,
don't
yeah,
know?
No, but it's like I remember in adoration at our church and everything, like a long time ago. He was like praying in front of me, and he like put his hand up in the air, like,
Yeah.
and just was like, I don't know, like, and for me that clicked. Like it was just something like, if he could love, like he recognizes what's up there, why can't I? Like it's fun, because he was like a cool dude, so I was like, oh man, like I don't know, it was just motivating. So even now I'll remember that.
Yeah.
When I'm praising, worshiping, like all the time. So.
Do you think like people let like their pride get in the way during praise and worship. Like they're afraid to like, lift their hands up, like open their hands and
Yeah,
stuff.
I think it's two things. I think it's fear. I don't think it's like pride as much. Yeah, there might play into it a little bit, but I think it's fear, I guess, of losing pride or like losing like the respect.
social. I think it's like a social fear kind of.
Yeah.
I think it just it depends who you're around too.
You really?
Yeah,
I don't-
I think so.
For me, when I was first like starting to like get into it, it was kind of just like who I was around, and I was just like, oh, like I don't know. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah.
no, these people.
Yeah, I guess. And then I think it's too a misunderstanding. Like people think I have to feel something to put my hands up in the air, and that's not the case. It's like God is bigger than our feelings. And so like a big thing about it, and Stacy and I like have gone through like a lot of the charismatic movements and different things like that. And so like a lot of like how you position yourself is like your actions of how you can love God and serve God in such a way. It's like, so we serve with our hands, why not use our hands in prayer, And so it's kind of like, if you put your hands out in front of you, it's like you're asking for like to receive or to give kind of thing. When you're putting your hands up in the air, it's asking for God to like, you're giving praise, it's like you're giving of glory. And so different positions of where your hands are and everything is like different things. So so most people just like put their hands up when everybody puts their hands up, put their hands down when everybody, it's like, but it's more than that. It's more of like a way of kind of positioning yourself, your body in prayer. You're not just making the words come out of your mouth be the prayer, or your mind, but having your body also be. And it's the same thing with like David. Like David in the Psalms, like he would dance around the ark, and everybody would be looking at him, and his wife would ask, like, you're embarrassing yourself, you're a king, it's like, you can't be doing this. And he says, I don't know what he said, sorry, but like paraphrasing is kind of like, this is God, like, why are we holding back our praise for him? Why are we holding back our prayer? So I think that's huge for like praise and worship.
Oh wow. I've never heard of that like verse or scripture with David dancing around the ark before.
I'll find it.
That's a first for me.
But so he's kind of like the manly man, this is the guy that like is leading the nation. It's like King David, everybody kind of looks up to him, and for him to be vulnerable enough to do something like that, they're like, that's not what a king should do. So yeah.
Oh.
But we do have to go into a break, so
all right,
we will return on the other side.
All right, so before we were talking about like praise and worship, and like we do that during retreats. So I was wondering, like during retreats, what's one thing like you as a youth minister look forward to the most?
Ooh.
What do I look forward to?
Yeah.
Or like what are you like most excited for?
To have everything set up.
Have it be done.
Have it be done already?
I think like my favorite part is like talking to the teens, like being able to like
interact.
So like different times when I kind of can come out of the cave or whatever it is, like and talk with the teens. I don't know, like I get to know different people on different levels, it's like there's little things as over the time. It's like being able to like, I don't know, spend some time with different teens and like talking with you
everybody,
guys or whatever, and like getting to know people on a different level.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you would have been like, my favorite part, sleep.
No, you don't sleep on the retreat.
I know.
So I don't look forward to that part.
Well,
It's just lays in his bed. Just like,
he's just like, eyes open.
It's
doesn't
literally
blink.
like, I
like a
literally,
Sixth Sense.
oh my gosh, I get into bed and I just knock out.
He's like mummified. Like
and
a
I
zombie.
and when I wake up, I'm like, I'm late, so it's not a good sleep.
Jace wakes up. He's like, what happened? What happened?
I gotta go.
He's panicked.
And so I'm
That's
like
funny.
running because I don't know.
You're running on 0 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a really random question to ask you because when I'm filling out college applications, this is what they ask me.
Oh, good
So
lord.
I just want to see your reaction.
Oh, good lord. What's
If
your
let-
favorite color?
No, but they do ask that. No,
Do they really?
Yeah, they ask like they ask, "What's your favorite color? What's your favorite movie?"
Granny Applesmith.
Yeah, they
Green.
ask weird questions. No, but they asked this one this year. If you had a roommate, who would you choose? But like, it can't be. Let's say it can't be Jesus. Jesus can't be your roommate.
My wife?
Oh, so you wouldn't choose like a celebrity that you always want to know?
No, my wife.
Oh, okay.
I mean, okay, if I had to choose somebody else.
Yeah, let's say Stacy and Jesus couldn't be the answer.
Okay. Mary.
Like none of your family members.
Who would I choose?
Isn't that such a hard question? I feel like there's so many people like
Probably somebody that would inspire me, like
some
somebody that
CrossFit person.
maybe somebody that would, or David Goggins. Do you guys know David Goggins?
Who's that?
He's like a motivational speaker. Look him up, but he cusses a lot, so just be warned. But he's like, he's not Catholic, so just be warned. But he's like a motivational kind of like, get out of
okay.
your ultra marathon, has been through crazy stuff.
Really?
Like, yeah. So like somebody like that, Jocko or.
Wouldn't you get annoyed though? Be like, dude, be quiet. I don't want to be motivated.
You're like, it's
No.
a Saturday. Like,
No, I get motivated by
sleep
that
in.
stuff. Like I'm more of like somebody's got to push me, you know? It's like
Yeah.
I'm not the hey, you're doing a great job kind of motivation where it's like, "Oh yeah, you know, like I'm doing a
Yeah.
great job." I'm more of like
you can do better.
you can do better, but
Oof.
it's like, "Hey, is this your best effort?"
Ooh,
like
yeah.
that kind of mentality.
Tough love.
Is this the best that you can do?
Yeah.
And so you're like,
I would be like,
No.
yeah.
Honestly,
Okay,
I
well-
think
Yeah.
I think tough love is like the best motivation
Really?
I think so.
to me. Just because like it's like the constant push of just like to me it's like, is this the best you can be? And
That's
Yeah.
true. But sometimes like I feel like there's certain extents to tough love where like if you cross that one boundary, it's like you shouldn't have like crossed that one.
Like you're too tough?
Yeah, like you become like the person who's like trying to give you the tough love doesn't know the limits of being like the extent of being tough, and they just like swarm you, you know?
I guess, yeah. It just kind of matters. Like,
Yeah.
Like they
there's-
hit a emotional point or something.
Yeah, there's like certain
Yeah.
people that can do certain things because there are some people that are like, you are, I don't know. Christian wants you,
Oh, what?
no.
but like, never mind. But like, I don't know, like somebody that is too tough. Like, like my dad was really good at it. Like, because my dad knew I'm really hard on myself.
Yeah.
And so like my dad knew kind of when to step away and kind of let me do my thing and then kind of come in after, but like during wrestling and stuff. But it's like the same thing is like people, you got to learn how to like step in and step out kind of thing of like when's the appropriate time and all that. I don't know.
Interesting. So you would choose a motivational speaker at the end of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Our answers are completely different. I
Who'd
said
you say?
Anne Hathaway.
Who's
What?
Anne Hathaway?
The
Oh, she's the
actress?
one on Les
Yes.
Mis, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
I
yeah.
think so.
I know my cinema.
Oh,
It's Les
okay.
Mis.
Okay.
Okay, cinematic person.
Why Anne Hathaway?
Because the movie that I love her in, it's they sing the song with Elton John and when it sings "Don't Go Breaking My Heart," and it's like
no one.
oh the
No,
the
it's
princess I forget it, but I think Princess Diaries. I love her in Princess Diaries too, but I think I would just get along with her. She's so like funny and just charismatic.
I don't know. I don't know about celebrities.
Really?
Like, I think they're a completely different person behind closed doors.
Oh well, yeah.
So I
That's
think
why you choose like
I
the
think
normal
like
ones.
you put
You know the
um,
normal one.
You just know.
you don't know. Yeah.
Okay, imagine if we're like, I'm gonna choose a Kardashian. Like, obviously, I would
Mm,
cry myself.
I think
to sleep.
they're different behind closed doors
Oh
too.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
I think like what they
100%.
show is completely different. I don't know.
Oh well, yeah. They have to make good TV,
Yeah.
so they just
Drama.
Every
Yeah.
day is something like, what should we do today? What skit? What bit?
Yeah.
Let's get mad at her today.
No, I think they've just like it's as if the way that I kind of see it is like it's an AME in that that's their
Yeah.
character, and so they don't have to like plan it. They just are like, this is the character I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's my thought.
Oh, okay. Well, if you are not a youth minister right now,
president of the United States.
Okay, you didn't even finish my
Well,
question.
you're reaching. I'm just
You're
kidding.
just reaching a little bit there. But if you weren't a youth minister right now, what would you be doing? Would you even be in California?
I don't know. See, when I yeah, California's a little crazy right now. But
would you
I
move?
I don't know. Like when I was in college,
Mhm.
everybody kind of stays in Minnesota when like
Yeah.
if you go there, you kind of stay there because the community you find is like it's the same thing with like college. Is like you kind of want a community
Yeah.
and stuff. So if you have a community when you come back, then that's cool. But for like all of my friends, like all of my really really good friends are back in Minnesota. Would I live in Minnesota? Probably not.
Why
'cause
wouldn't
it's
you?
So cold.
Oh.
And I like it's beautiful and mosquitoes just attack me.
Mosquitoes are everywhere.
Yeah, but they're not like
They're
you go
worse
out,
there.
You go outside and you're just covered in mosquitoes.
Oh, no
But
thanks.
no, I'm just kidding. That's during the summer. And it's like, I don't know. People are like, oh, it's not that cold and stuff. Like, it's only cold for like 4 months or whatever. But I'm like, it's like, I don't know. For me, ice, like when you walk on ice and you slip on black ice
Yeah.
and that constant, like, I don't know, wears you down. It wears everything down. Like your house, your cars, everything. So I don't know. Like, I would love the seasons if I was going to move out of
Okay.
California. California is so darn expensive too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So I'm just like, I don't know, something that is comparable. I don't know where that would be, but like something. What would I do if I wasn't a youth minister? Is that what you were asking?
Yeah. I'm so curious about this because I've only ever seen you as a youth minister.
Me too. What would I would probably do something like do a profession that takes. So the aspect that I love about being a youth minister is that I do everything. So I do
Okay.
accounting, I do budgetary, I do, social media, digital marketing,
Oh my
like
gosh.
I do it all.
Well, yeah,
Like,
but, like-
I have to market to everybody. I mean, we use the word evangelize in the
Mm-hmm.
church, it's like I have to reach out, I have to do public speaking, I have to do administrative,
Mm-hmm.
tasks. I'm a teacher, I'm a
You wear all hats.
I'm like, you have to wear
Yeah.
all hats, at the same time kind of thing. And so I'd love to do something like that. So the only things that I could kind of think of is like owning my own business,
Okay.
or like if I had to kind of choose like what in all of my things that I do that I like the most is probably like marketing. Like so something like
What would you market? What would your business
no
be?
idea.
Like
Could you do
CrossFit.
like
Jason's CrossFit.
makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something like my grandpa, the same grandpa I was just talking about, is like he was a salesman,
Mm-hmm.
and like he was just like he could sell you anything.
Really?
Like, he was so convincing of like, and so I think I'm like very similar in the sense that like I'm pretty good at like
You can convince people.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know, like for marketing is like being able to kind of like share a product, that you believe in too, is like that somebody might need and stuff like that. I don't know. And just coming up, like for me, I love strategy. Like I love like chess and kind of moving pieces around, of like
Why?
how to get, because it's like,
It makes you think?
yeah. Well, not only that, it like makes you're trying to reach a goal.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're kind of like, what are the details that need to kind of happen to kind of come into place to reach that goal? So
Interesting.
that.
I don't know why, but in my head sometimes I can see you as a car salesperson.
a car salesperson?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Wow,
You
thanks.
know, people
I don't know what.
people
I don't know if that's a compliment or if that.
No, just like the way that like some sales like cars people can be like you really convincing, like you want
know.
this car.
No offense to anybody that's a car salesman,
Well,
but I
yeah.
feel like car salesmen are like they're just out to get you. Like
Well, yeah, that
So that's
too.
what I'm
They
kind
just
of
want your
like-
money at the end of
Yeah.
the day. But
no, I kind of want somebody to like. I want to believe like. I would want to believe somebody to believe in the products. And the same thing here. It's like I want people to believe that this is the truth because it is. I mean, so I don't know.
Wow, marketing. I can see you in marketing field,
We'll see.
business,
Yeah,
CrossFit,
I do it every day here.
Working for
social
Rogue.
media.
working for Rogue.
Rogue. Yeah, I do it with social media here. So.
Jace retires from youth minister tomorrow. he opens his own CrossFit gym.
Move out of the way, CrossFit Heyday. I'm just kidding.
CrossFit Heyday.
Just kidding.
Throw the shade.
No, that's the only one. Just for anybody that knows, that's the CrossFit here, and actually the owner is Catholic. Yeah.
Oh.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
What is something that you love about being a youth minister?
What is something I love? I keep saying it over and over, but I really do. Is like the different teens, like their personalities and stuff. Like, I don't know. I'm not a teen. I'm like so far off now. Like when I first started here, I was 22, I think.
You were young.
Like, what is I? Yeah, 22 or 23. Like I was really young, like right out of college, and I was like the seniors that were graduating. I was like 4 years apart. Like
oh my gosh,
it was close. It was like I was probably like for you like Corinne. Like,
oh yeah,
I was like really close, like in age and everything. So it's like at that time it was different because I was like, oh, I'm so like we're so. Now it's like I'm like 10 years, 12 years older.
Now you're like, what's sus mean?
I know. Yeah, Among Us.
Among Us.
I have no
TikTok,
idea.
What? I don't see the hype.
Yeah, and like I'm in that kind of phase. Whereas when I was in the beginning, I was like, oh, I'll try everything.
Yeah.
I'll try their video games. I'll try this. Now I'm kind of like, they
have
got
kids.
me. Yeah, I know. I'll have my kids play it. No. But I think like the cool part about it is like getting to know like the different teams. So it's like getting to know even like our peer team that's now kind of coming in and everything. Is like they're kind of people that have been around. So it's like Bobby, Danny, Michaela, Kendall, Ava, it's like all these different people that, and just throwing out some names. It's like, and just kind of like getting to know them on a different level of like who they are and kind of like being able to kind of be there with them on their journey, like of growth. I think that's like really fun. I also like coming up with like different ideas and stuff if we have the time. So like dramas and AMEs and stuff, I love doing that stuff, but like right now it's like we don't have the time. Like we're crunch time. Yeah. So I don't like the crunch time amount, but I love like being able to dissect the details of like how to be funny, how to like be intense, how to do all this stuff. So
For the time that I was a confirmation leader for like the 2 years, that was like the one thing that I did really like, just like seeing them grow and like really getting to know them like on like personal level.
You had like such a balling group too.
Yeah.
And so you were able to like they really kind of like what is it, like reciprocated that.
So it's nice when they reciprocated. It just makes it a whole different experience, and it makes it so much more like, it makes you want to help them more. And then it makes them want to like accept that more.
Yeah. And like, that's what we always say is like the more you're vulnerable, the more you'll enjoy this. The lights flickered.
No,
I know, I saw that.
That was a bird.
I think it went over the sunroof.
Oh,
like
really?
The bird.
Oh. But I think, and we always kind of say that is like the more they give, the more you're gonna get. And it's hard to tell somebody that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I think it's also like the more they give, we also receive.
Oh, absolutely.
Like they don't like realize that when they give, they're also like giving to us because like we like change and grow with them on this journey.
And we're adjusting.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know.
And sometimes it's the people that you don't expect to open up, which is like,
I think that's the best feeling.
Yeah, that like you get some people that are like, they're gonna open up. That's just their personality, like Jenna. I'm just kidding.
Okay, throw the ad at me.
No, but it's like you get some people that are like just naturally like they can open up their hearts, and then you get the ones that are like, man, that are really, really tough, that kind of want to be there, but they're just kind of like, like somebody, I'll just throw it out. Well, I won't throw out the name, but like somebody that really opened up, was somebody that like, they seem like a tough cookie, like from at face value, but then kind of like started to like open up later on. And so and I think that's kind of something that I really enjoy is like the process of it all. From start to finish.
Like chipping away the boundaries.
just like growth.
Yeah.
And seeing the growth. Because I think, we can never, somebody I know would always say like, just like a leader, like you'll never be able to smell your own body odor. It's like you'll never be able to like, you don't know
You're growing.
Yeah, but you don't know the thing that you leave behind. Like, so you don't know, for instance, the moment you came into this room, and this goes to anybody, is the moment that you come into a room, you change the atmosphere of the entire room. Like, but you don't know that because you don't know how it is before, you don't know how it is during, and you don't know how it is after. Because you only know what you bring, you know, from your perspective. And so it's like, even here, you don't know the effect that you're having on each other, but the moment you leave, it changes the dynamics of the room. Something's taken out of the room, and so that's why I think it's like interesting to kind of see everybody's personality kind of coming in together on retreat team, peer team, life nights, and everything. So
that's cool. If you had to go back in time, like be a fly on the wall or be like a little conscious on your shoulder,
like a little ghost.
Yeah, like a little
like Among
little
Us,
ghost.
kind of.
I don't know about that.
I'm just trying to be relatable. Trying to be modern.
Trying to be relatable. But if you had to go back in time and you had to tell younger Jace in high school,
had to tell?
Yeah, tell
or
him.
Being a fly on the wall.
No, tell him something. Tell him something. If you had to tell him like advice, like not to do something or whatever, what would it be? What would you go back to tell your younger self?
Don't become a youth minister.
No.
Don't become a youth minister.
What would I tell? I think like there's a few different things that I like. Maybe I wouldn't tell myself like I don't know, I'd be like invest in Amazon. I would say no, I think I would say tell myself like I don't know how I would say it, but like morals are important kind of thing. Like something like that is like, I don't know how I would say it in such a way that it would like
make sense to your younger self.
Younger self would be like, get away from me, fly, you know, or whatever. But like something like that is like your morals that you have will change the relationships that you know, the happiness, the peace that you have, like everything, you know. And so yeah.
Do you think if you knew that back then, your life would be different now?
I don't think it would be too much different. I think I would be more at peace even. I'm at peace now at like different decisions and different things, but I like it's a learning process.
Yeah.
You know? Like there's a lot, you know, that, and I'm still learning as I go, but it's like being able to understand like that. Another thing I would do too is network. I would tell myself to network more. Like being able to kind of like keep connections instead of like because there are some people like I know there are some teens that are like I see it, I'm like they're going to be really successful because they just are like able to talk to anybody without a care in the world kind of thing. And for me, I always cared about what people thought and stuff. And so and like I'm still in that phase too, but it's like I grew out of a lot of kind of like I wouldn't do anything because I was scared of like what people would think and different things. But like there's some people that like some teens that like, and I have one in mind that like he doesn't care what other people think, and he'll talk to anybody, like it doesn't matter kind of thing. And so yeah, like I would tell myself it's network, like keep connections with people, because I would want to keep connections with people and kind of like grow in that sense, but I cared too much about what people
think
thought.
Everybody cares to some extent though about what people think and say.
It held me back from saying more, if that makes sense.
You learned when like the appropriate time to say something and the appropriate time not to say something.
But I think I would rather have taken the gamble of saying something and like having a connection rather than not saying anything. I feel like I leaned on not saying anything.
I think is it kind of like the idea of like living without regret?
Yeah. I mean, I do. I'm just saying if I had the opportunity. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
mean, yeah. Let's go on.
Final question.
Oh.
What is like one piece of advice, or like what's something that somebody's told you that has like affected you through your faith journey or like stuck with you?
Oh my gosh. The one that's just popping in my head was Jeremiah 29:12. So it was like during some of the hardest time in my life, like with my testimony and everything, like I didn't know where to turn and where kind of I was going to go and this, that, and the other. And Mark Hart actually called and he like was talking with me and he, told me that verse and it just stuck with me, and he doesn't remember me, like doesn't remember who I am.
Hey, you remember me?
And no,
who are you?
like I met him a couple times after and before and different things, but it's like, but he told me that, and he like, I don't know, for some odd reason, like in the verses, so I'm gonna butcher it, but it's like when you I'm gonna just look it up.
You should probably look it up.
when you call me, when you come to ask me, I'll listen to you. Something like that. When you pray to me, I will listen to you. Something along those lines. And so like he would know it by heart. But
Mark Hart,
the Bible geek. Yeah, so he would know it. But it's like for some odd reason, or not for some odd reason, but it's such a good verse. Everybody looks to the 29:11.
What's the 29:11?
Let me look it up.
I feel like
buy me some time.
a lot of people.
Oh, for I know the plans that you have declared for me.
Okay.
And then 29:12 is. Hold on, give me.
Because I feel like most people look to the Philippians 4:13.
4:13.
Which
I
one's
can do
that?
all things through Christ.
Who
Oh,
strengthens me.
yeah.
Yeah.
29:12. When you call me and come and pray to me, I will listen to you. So everybody looks to the 29:11, the one verse before. For I know well the plans I have in mind for you, plans for your welfare and not for your woe, so as to give you a future of hope. And so I think like for me during that time, like pivotal in my life when like I'm struggling or going through like anything, like 29:12, when you call me, when you come to me, come and pray to me, I will listen to you. And it's like it's not even a promise, it's like a fact, you know. It's like God is there searching out for you and waiting. If you come to him, I will listen to you. That doesn't mean I'm going to give you what you want.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're going to be at peace or whatever, but it does mean like he says, I will listen to you. Yeah. And it's like sometimes that's what you need, is like somebody to just kind of listen. Yeah. So
Ooh, I like the 29:11.
For I know well the plans I have in mind for you.
Yeah, I like that, but I also like yours because I think lots of times when we pray, we feel like God isn't listening to us. And it's like, not like God isn't listening to us, but like you're praying and you're not like receiving anything back. So, and I think most times, well, for me, it's like when I pray, it's like I expect to receive something back, but it's like sometimes I just need a listener. I don't need like the advice or anything.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need that and we don't even realize it.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's the difference between what we want and what we need that we don't realize.
And I think it's pretty powerful, like the word like listen, like I'm listening. It's not like I hear you, you know, it's like I will listen. Like I'm actively like they're listening.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that person, like, and maybe you have this experience, it's like that person that like when you're talking to them, you know, you're like they're not thinking about anything else, they're not on their phone, they're not like, they're like engaged with you, you know, in that. So I guess my question is to you guys, what would you want to know about me?
What I want to know about you?
Yeah. I don't know.
I feel, well, since I've known you for a long time,
You know a lot.
I feel like I do know a lot about you.
What's something that you've recently learned?
That I've recently learned about you? That you can't, that you don't memorize any songs.
Really? You didn't know that before?
No, it was when I was painting and I was playing music and I was like, Jace, like do you know like who's like this song is? And you're like, who? And I'm like, what? Like this is a popular song. Like you don't know?
Yeah, that's something I was telling her. Is like
didn't know that.
For some odd reason I can't memorize like I say I can memorize verses. I didn't memorize this verse, but like I can memorize verses and different things like that. But it's like songs, I cannot memorize. Like I'm amazed at how people memorize songs. Like, and people are gonna be listening to this and be like, oh my gosh, like how
They're
do you not
so
remember?
easy, yeah.
How do you not remember songs? I don't know. I just can't remember songs. Like
I was
lyrics.
baffled when you told me. I was like, what? Like,
Yeah.
but then like it goes back to like him doing the praise and worship and
Yeah,
singing.
yeah.
Like he
Makes
messes up
sense.
the lyrics.
Yeah.
So it's like full circle type thing.
I'm like, Lord, I need you. I'm like, Lord, I want you. You know, it's like, no, I don't
That's
put you
funny.
that bad, hopefully. But
Christian, what do you want to know about him?
is there something you want to know about me?
That
Or
you've
maybe
never
recently you've learned something?
No,
No, nothing.
honestly, no.
Oh, okay, good.
I feel like I don't have that many questions. I'm kind of
Good.
happy with what I know.
All right.
Oh,
So I just want to keep it there. I
he
don't
just
wanna-
wants to be surface level with you.
Let's just keep it here. It goes
That's
a little too
funny.
deep. I'm just kidding.
Too deep.
Well, thank you guys for asking questions, diving deep, and getting to know
problem.
me a little bit more.
We
And
loved asking you the questions
Aw.
and learning more about you.
I think there's a lot to know too. So if anybody
Well,
does
yeah.
have questions, if anybody else wants to ask questions or different things along those lines, we would love to kind of dive in. Or maybe you want to ask like highlight a core member
Yeah,
and see
core member interview.
what core members and pre-core members.
Jenna.
Um,
Please do not ask me. No, I'm joking.
and then we also, I just wanted to kind of announce, we also do have a new pre-core member, Christian, sitting right across from me.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Christian.
So we probably should have started off with that one. But if you make it this far, congratulations.
Yay.
All right. Well, God bless. We will look forward to seeing you guys soon. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, lifeteen_HT. And if you have anything else you'd want to hear, or if you have prayer intentions or all that kind of good stuff, just reach out. We would love to pray for you guys.
Yes,
God
you will.
bless. We'll see you guys soon.
Bye.
Goodbye.